also, this is part 2, January 8th, 2021. She also made a comment, Phyllis, saying, as I was saying about sanitizer, can I sanitize my hands? Can I just, count the money and so forth? She said something about if I'm not going to do what she tells me to do, I can go home. And that's when she started calling Dora to the front, saying she's about to go home. Come up to the front. And all I was doing was asking a question because I was surprised. I haven't. We've been told not to take orders. We're supposed to wear gloves. Thomas made the comment and made what was it? January the 1st. He said it. I think it was, and a few days before that. Because that's about we all have to wear gloves. Mindy is a co-worker. I thought she had quit, but she came back to work. She said because she was saying that she was moving to North Carolina, but she said she just went up there for a week. But I worked with her this past week. When I told Mindy about what Thomas said about before this happened, because before it was a question about do we have to wear gloves or not. And some co-workers were saying what was told to me was it was your choice from the managers. But Mindy said, make sure you wear gloves when you're working on Phyllis's shift because she wants everyone to wear gloves. And I said, okay. I thought it was odd, so I was like, maybe the restrictions are so lenient that and now it's your choice, because I've asked employees such as Nathan why he didn't have gloves on, what's the word about the gloves, to see the information. He said, I just sanitized my hands. One time I asked manager, I think it was Thomas, he was like, you wear gloves. I saw Mindy one time not wearing gloves, and she was like, I'm just not wearing gloves. I think that's what she said. I can't remember. But anyway, I think I wrote it down because I was just trying to figure out, because I was waiting to see, do we have to wear gloves? CJ, in November, when his inspector was there, was saying wear gloves. And he never got back to me. The reason why this whole thing came up with gloves was because James pulled me to the corner a few months back before November, saying, complaining, trying to, I thought he was giving me constructive criticism about me taking care of a customer, and it was a black male. And I told him I was going to put on gloves. And anyway, to end the conversation, he didn't have on gloves. He was implying that we don't have to wear gloves. That's what he said. We don't have to wear gloves. And I kept seeing him with no gloves on. As I walked out that day, I asked Carl. I said, Carl, because he was in the lobby. I said, so we don't have to wear gloves no more. Because once again, the whole thing about the gloves, James didn't have on gloves. And he had pulled me around the corner, or not pulled me, excuse me. I walked around the corner. He said he needed to talk to me about customer service. It was a customer, a black male. And I was telling him I was changing my hand, cleaning my hands, sanitizing my hands, and putting on gloves. And he said, he kept talking. I said, I don't understand what you mean, because we're supposed to wear gloves. And then he told me we don't have to wear gloves. As I walked out, Carl was in the lobby. He said, and I asked Carl, he said, you need to talk to CJ and make sure that's right, in so many words. And I said, okay. When I kept speaking to CJ and asking him, he just kept saying he didn't know he'll get back with me. He didn't know he'll get back with me. He didn't know he'll get back with me. So, when November, the inspector was there, I asked, do we have to wear gloves? CJ said we do have to wear gloves. We need to wear gloves. Then afterwards, I was still seeing Thomas and James not wearing gloves and other employees not wearing gloves. But I didn't know because I still haven't spoke to CJ about it. Then Thomas, a week ago, January the 1st, he spoke about masks. A few days before that, he said that everybody's going back to wearing gloves. Restrictions are stricter now. Something about the cases that CJ got an email, everybody have to wear a mask, and so forth. So today, once again, Phyllis, okay, after I count down the drawer, I'm showing you, because this week, Tuesday, okay, overhearing, the snow came down, Monday, Phyllis said nobody, according to her, I don't know, I was overhearing them having a conversation, I don't know for sure, that hardly no one came to work on Monday because no one could get to work. Tuesday, and Imani was on a schedule to work. He works across the street at Wendy's. Tuesday, I was on the schedule to work, but not on Monday. But still, it was really bad. So I called. I knew I was supposed to come in at 10. I think I called about 6:30 to let them know that it was really, really bad still. See this? I got a call at about 10:30 from Phyllis. She said the store is opening at 11. Usually the store opens at 7 a.m. She said the store is open at 11. And then I told her, I said, it's really bad out here. And I'm not going to, she said, well, if you can't come in, it's okay. I said, okay. Wednesday, I went into work. Thursday, I went into work. It snowed again. I clocked in at 10:06. All right. I was supposed to be there at 10. Today, I guess because it's really, really cold. So anyway, I got my schedule from 9 to 4. I clocked in at 9:01. So to make a long story short, a few days ago, Phyllis caught me out again, Thomas, African American male manager, who told me to go around the corner so he could talk to me about my customer service skills. Because at the time I was taking a black male's order, and he said we don't have to wear gloves. He was complaining that day, just about, I didn't know, I couldn't understand his complaints, but I listened. I didn't argue, I just listened. And then at one time, he told me to come and stand with him, next to him, and do fries. Phyllis wanted me, demonstrated that she wanted me to go on the register. And I looked at him, I said, I think Phyllis wants me on the register. And he was irritated. And he was making rude comments, and and then Minnie said, Phyllis said, go on the register. I said, no, Minnie said, go on the register. I said, go on the register. I said, did Phyllis say go on the register? She said, yes, Phyllis wants you on the register. So Minnie stood next to James and started doing fries. James, the African male manager, kept complaining. He was like literally, like I remember in comparison to this other coworker named Khalid Muhammad. He just kept complaining, and I didn't understand. I just kept listening, because one time he complained. He said, I asked the customer, I said, hi, may I help you? And the customer was explaining what he wanted, why he was at Burger King. And James interrupted the customer that day and said, come and do fries. He wanted me to stand next to him to do fries. And I said, wait a minute, James, the customer is talking to me. And he was rudely speaking. I said, James, and I said, you said, I mean, if I would walk, I said, hold on, excuse me. And I just kept talking to the customer because I wanted the customer to complete his sentences of what he was saying. And I turned around, I said, James, you said, I don't want you to think I'm walking away from the customers. This is the same day that he kept complaining a few days ago, and Phyllis clocked me out. So this is the snow. So it's better now. The roads are clear, but there's a lot of ice patches. And I walk. So that was the same day, the exact same day that Phyllis clocked me out. And first she told me to clock out. Because first she wasn't saying much with James. Then she started agreeing with James. They were just talking out of the blue, like something like a fabricated anger, like just came out of nowhere, literally. I didn't understand what they were talking about in referencing complaints. I mean, no customers complained. As far as I remember, I didn't make any mistakes. And they were just complaining. And then she said, clock out. And this is like at 2:11. My schedule was from 10 to 4. I said, I'm not clocking out. I haven't did anything. Why am I clocking out? And she said, this is after I took a break. So it didn't have anything to do with going on break, because I had already taken a break. And she said, do you want me to clock you out? Either you clock out or I clock you out. And I said, I'm not clocking out. I'll clock out. That means I've done something wrong. I haven't done anything wrong. What did I do? And then after she clocked me out, James made the comment, yeah, she's not taking care of customers or taking care of customers. So once again, I just walked. Once again, a lot of times they seem to get angry when the military comes into Burger King. There were those that imply to be connected to the military with the USAA card, and black males, and sometimes Spanish speaking. I don't know why. I can only assume why. So today, I am taking a black male came in. I hadn't counted down a drawer. I took his order. I asked him how he was doing. I gave him great customer service. He seemed pleased. He got his food and left. I prepared his coffee, told him what the cream and sugar was, and he left. Then the second customer was also black male, and this when after I counted down in the drawer, and Phyllis said, I said, and I greeted him, and then after I greeted him I said, okay, sir, I'll be right back. Let me put on my gloves. Because the first customer, I had put on gloves, washed my hands, but I hadn't counted down the drawer. The second customer counted the drawer down. I said, yeah, I greeted him. I said, let me put on gloves and take your order. Phyllis said, take that man's order. I said, you want me to take the man's order without gloves? And she has on gloves. She has on gloves. She has on a black mask. And she said, yes. And I said, okay, what about sanitizing my hands? And then she made comments. if I'm not going to do what she tells me to do, I'm going to go home. And that's when she starts saying, Dora, come up front. She's about to go home. Because I said, I'm just surprised. I had to wear gloves for over 2 years. Approximately, I guess it's over 2 years. Let me say that. Approximately, whenever COVID-19 started. And the restrictions, and I was surprised. I was just surprised. And so this is in connection also with the register. Yesterday, the register, I was counting down the drawer, and I got it wrong. And I said, Phyllis, can I use your calculator? I got it wrong after 3 times. Well, twice the same, it seemed like. But anyway, it was like it was short. Let me say that. And I wanted to double check, triple. I was like, something, this is really short. I compared to what it has been, like it looked like over $4 short, or $4 short. I said, Phyllis, can I use use the calculator to make sure? And she said, no, that's 3 times. And she said, put the register in the drawer. I said, okay, because she doesn't want me to use the calculator on her shift, whether there's food in the office or not. Of hers, she doesn't want me to use the calculator in office on her shift. I said, okay, no problem. And as I was, so today, as she kept saying she about to go home in front of customers, and I'm telling Dora, which is Spanish speaking, she from El Salvador, I don't know where she's from exactly, only going by what she has said. But she said she connected to El Salvador. That's all I can say. Because I don't know them personally, so I don't know. I really don't. And I said, Phyllis, I'm just going to go ahead and leave because this is stressful for me to hear them keep threatening to send me home when I'm trying to do what I'm supposed to do, what they tell me to do. And then it's like out of the blue, whether it could be connected to, some would say sexual harassment, whatever it may be. I don't know what a lawyer would say is going on in reference to evidence of what's going on here, but or classism. I don't know if it's I don't know what he would say, criminal offense or whatever. But all I can tell you is this has been going on for a very, very long time, and so and a lot of the issues with the managers has been when I'm taking orders from black males and females, predominantly black males. So this is ice. So hearing your manager threaten you, first of all, clocks you out a few days before, and then threatens you in front of the customers about sending you home as though you doing something wrong when you just saying, okay, I'm just surprised, no gloves. You don't want me, you want me to take order with no gloves. And she has on gloves. She has on a mask. She has on a black mask. So it's the only time I've seen a blue mask since approximately a day after, or because I told Phyllis that I experienced an allergic reaction from the blue mask that Birkin switched to, and then they all had on black masks except for a few. What I remember, maybe 1 or 2 coworkers, and then after that, everyone had on black masks. It's what I remember, what I saw. I don't know if everyone in the store, but that's what I saw. My eyesight remember, okay. And then I remember 2 new employees came to Burger King with 2 blue masks on. And then I didn't see them no more. But everyone else had on black. Even Thomas had on black. As far as what I saw, everyone was wearing black masks. And now, for the past few days, I've been noticing Thomas come in Like he came in for a little while yesterday, I think. Yes, because CJ came in with a blue mask. So a few days he's wearing a blue mask. But everyone, including Phyllis, they're wearing black masks, what I see. This is the snow again. And once again, she emphasized on the word man. Instead of saying, take the guest order, take the customer order, she emphasized on the word man. Once again, Thomas still calls or address customers as Mo. Employees as Mo, and sometimes I've even heard him seem like he's still trying to address me, but in a low tone. And this is when African American males or females or even pale skinned customers are watching. I asked him, I went to Carl and spoke to Carl about him addressing me as Mo, and he said, he told Carl that he didn't say Mo. But when I asked him when he addressed me as Mo, he did not say I didn't say Mo. He said Mo man, Mo man, Mo man. When I was having the meeting with Carl about it and Carl brought him into the meeting, he denied ever saying Mo. But he still addressed, I'm pretty sure if you was to ask customers that come into Burger King how many times they've heard Thomas, the manager, address customers with Mo, you probably hear a lot of them say that, I would think, if they are truthful. Or if they or hear how many times you heard Thomas, the manager, address co-workers as Mo. But I told him, I just said, you know what, just don't address me as Mo. My name is Rhonda. Don't call me Mo. Do not say love, because he tried to address me with the word love, L-O-V-E, as a manager to an employee, a co-worker. He's an African-American male manager, and he's trying to address me as love. That is crossing boundaries. So all I ask is you for the customer, for you not to address me other than my name. No, baby, don't say baby. All that is crossing boundaries, and I don't know their state of mind. I don't know how they think, and I don't know who they know. I'm not saying I'm perfect with sanitizing my Moorish American Nation and family, my hands, and keeping up. I try to do what I'm told. I'm always willing to learn. That's why when James when he told me to come around the corner to speak, I mean, I thought he was giving me constructive criticism. At first I thought he was being irrational, but when he said you don't have to wear gloves, I was like, okay, great. But then all that was confusion. So I'm always, if they say don't do this, don't do that, start doing this, start doing that, I'm going to do it. So Phyllis telling me to take orders with no gloves on, and all this time since COVID-19 we've been wearing gloves, and all this going back and forth with gloves. And all I said was, and she has on gloves once again, I said, So you want me to take an order with no gloves on? I said, okay, do you want me, can I sanitize my hands real quick? And then she said, if you can't do what I say, go home. And then that's when she started saying, Dora, she about to go home, because I was saying I'm just surprised. So it's more like control. I said, well, I mean, I was thinking to myself, what if she if she wants me to prepare fries with no scoop and just use my hand and put the fries in the with no gloves on and put the fries in the carton. I mean, but she says, if you don't do it, I don't have no proof to show that she's telling me to do this. If you don't do it, you got to go home. When I have mentioned things about seeing co-workers put fries in the bin, because I know customers have complained when they fall out on the side, on the shelf, I was criticized, and so threats of me going home came about in so many words as well. So I don't say anything unless I thought it was detrimental. For instance, when Hamima said, when Hamima put the fries in the bin with no gloves on, and she just said my hands were clean. This is the bin where you prepare fries. I told her, I said, I don't think you need to do that. Thomas just got through talking about how things are getting stricter. I said, I don't think you should do that. I don't think we're supposed to be doing that. And so sometimes I would see the spatula outside the bin on the shelf. Okay? And this, once again, where we put our elbows, people lean on. And I would go and wash the spatula. But then there were complaints that I was leaving the front line and doing whatever as though I wasn't trying to do my job, these sort of things. So I don't try to do things like that anymore. So today I was just surprised that she said take orders with no gloves on, and I asked her, did she want me to sanitize? And then she started saying I'm about to go home. And call Dora to the front. So when you're dealing with those who don't, let me stop. I'm not saying this is just a thought now. Who want to promote rape? This is a thought. Now I'm not saying this is in reference to Phyllis or anyone at Burger King, but who wants to promote or encourage rape, molestation, and other forms of violence. And make it a lifestyle. Islam, make it a lifestyle and call it a culture. They don't understand how boundaries should not be crossed in that matter, because in their minds it's okay to do such things. And until they're around someone who is on a higher thought process, and if everybody's thinking that way on that down low realm level, why would they think there's something wrong? This is just a thought outside of that. So this is the importance of upholding constitutional laws, because everyone has the right to do and believe what they want to believe when it doesn't infringe on someone else's rights. And so today, once again, Phyllis just caught me up with for no reason. A few days ago that I saw, I couldn't understand what was the reason. But I stayed quiet as much as I could when James was complaining, because I didn't want to incite him even more. I didn't want to give him a reason to say clock out. So I made sure I stayed quiet and as much as I could, and just try to understand where his anger was coming from. Earlier that day, I saw one of the black male customers that implied to be connected to the Army at the bank teller as I was walking. He would come to Burger King and talk to James. Well, at least I heard him talking to James, and they were talking using Army or military terms. So, but still, that how they were talking, I would think that possibly they knew each other or they could be friends, but I don't know. That was earlier as I was walking to work. But that's the only connection I would think, because I thought it was odd another time when I saw this same black male dressed in an Army uniform. He was at Burger King one day it was on my payday, and I got off work at about 4. As I was getting ready to leave Burger King, I saw him at the counter. I usually do the exact same path every time I get paid. I go to Bank of America, deposit my check, and then I walk up the hill and go to Whole Foods. And I made sure I took a picture of my time of Bank of America and my clock out. And so I just saw him at Burger King. And then as I walked around to come to Whole Foods in the plaza, I saw him at the teller. I thought it was odd because, once again, I've had issues where I had to call the police on black males that were aggressively trying to engage. So I did see him on the same day that James kept complaining about my work. And I didn't understand where it was coming from. So, but Phyllis just caught me up. I mean, it was just like, it was like they were looking for a reason for me to get upset to clock out. Today, as she was saying this in front of customers, I said, I'm just going to go ahead because this is upsetting me when I'm trying to figure out different ways to do what they tell me to do. And they're literally, for whatever reason, unless there's some of the people around American Extended Stay that I've heard talking around American Extended Stay, saying Burger King, unless they're one of them, saying I love you, brother loves you, saying we paid, impossible. I hear them now say impossible Whoppers. I don't know who these people are. Unless they're connected to some of these people at Extended Stay America around our room saying that, why would they have any issues with me? Because I don't know any of them personally. Islam. Especially hearing them say, I love you, she loved your son, we paid, and literally sound like animals. So anyways, January the 8th, 2021.